What's up, buddy, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. 7 transfer gambles that backfired spectacularly this season by Goalkeeper. Go subscribe to that, man. 490,000 subscribers. I low-key kind of spoiled an option, but the comment that I just seen on YouTube said, Liverpool letting Luis Diaz go. Shout out Luis Diaz. I miss you. We miss you. But to be fair, he over there in the Bundes going crazy. I mean, I can go over there in the Bundes and go steal it. While playing for Bayern Munich too. Like, come on now. But shout out Luis Diaz. Definitely hurts letting him go. But 7 transfer gambles that backfire. Anything else come to mind that people gambled on this season that backfired for the team? Yakeries. Isak, I wouldn't say Isak is a gamble. I feel like gamble is extending your neck out for something and you severely are at a detriment because y'all got him. Like, Liverpool ain't necessarily at a detriment with Isak on the team because we already got Ekitike too. Like, yeah, the money comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? Money comes and money goes. So, you know, I don't know about Isak, but Yakeries maybe with them Arsenal boys. I don't know. But hey, let's see what goes down.
All clubs gamble every summer, but the bill arrives in February when injuries hit, pressure spikes, and the table stops forgiving you. Today we're counting down 7 bold decisions from last summer and January that looked smart on paper until reality turned them into
Isak gonna be on it for
self-inflicted
sure.
problems. Let's get into it. Number 7, Liverpool selling Luis Diaz.
Yup. Hey, that's what the YouTube comment said. So I can't take no credit for this one, but y'all know I've been rocking with Luis Diaz since I first reacted to him, since we first signed him. But apparently he wasn't performing up to people's expectations, or he wasn't performing enough. But that nigga Luis was my guy.
On July 30th, Bayern Munich announced a 4-year deal for Luis Diaz. The fee was reported around 75 million euros. After 148 appearances, 41 goals and 23 assists, Diaz was gone. Liverpool's logic seemed bulletproof. They'd already secured Cody Gakpo on a new long-term contract. They'd made Florian Wirtz their marquee summer signing. The spreadsheet said the left side would be covered, maybe even upgraded. But spreadsheets don't account for chemistry. They don't capture what Diaz provided. A direct transition-ready winger who stretched defenses and turned chaos into end product. His final Liverpool season saw 13 goals and 7 assists, numbers that came with consistent availability.
Yeah, they didn't really like that 17 goals and how many assists he said?
And 7 assists.
7 assists. Numbers that people was talking trash on Luis Diaz and saying he wasn't worth this amount of money. I ain't even talking about Liverpool fans. I'm talking about Premier League fans in general. They were saying Doku was better, this person is better, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah.
Came with consistent availability. Fast forward to February and Liverpool are sitting 6th. They just lost a late lead to Manchester City at Anfield on February 8th, a game that exposed what happens when your front line can't kill the big moments. Here's the counterpoint. Diaz had reportedly pushed for a move for some time, and Liverpool cashed a major fee for a player entering peak value. That's not automatically a mistake, but the gamble was assuming Wirtz, Gakpo, and the other new pieces would gel fast enough to defend a title.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I ain't know that move. I ain't know that Luis Diaz was pushing for a move early on in the season, if that is true. So, if he was, then hey, you better get a bang for your buck while you can.
Right now, Gakpo has 5 goals and 3 assists in 24 league appearances. Solid, but not the same profile. Diaz was a reliable big game outlet. Replacing his minutes is easy. Replacing his timing is harder. Number 6. Arsenal loaning Nwaneri to Marseille.
Oh, whoa. Real Madrid loaning Endrick to Lyon is for sure gonna be on this list, then.
Arsenal sent going stupid over there in Marseille in late January. On paper, it made complete sense. The teenager needed regular minutes, and Roberto De Zerbi has a reputation for developing technical attackers.
Oh, that was him?
Marseille reportedly agreed to pay a loan fee north of £2.5 million, depending on appearances. Here's the problem. Marseille isn't a finishing school, it's a pressure cooker. And Arsenal's entire gamble was tied to one variable they couldn't control, the manager. On February 11th, following a 5-0 loss to PSG and a Champions League exit, De Zerbi left by mutual consent. So overnight, Arsenal's carefully constructed development environment changed completely. New staff, new demands, new system, and a young player caught in the middle of someone else's crisis.
Feels bad. I hate to see shit like that, bro. A young player, career getting stunted. That could be like a legit career-altering, experience right there. Yes, he's still young, but dang, that's tough to go through.
Arsenal didn't just loan out a prospect. They outsourced a crucial part of his development to circumstances they can't script. If you're making these decisions at elite level, you need to ask harder questions.
Oh, there go the front tape with the afro like I was asking. But even though my afro not kind of like this, it's not like this. Huh. Go ahead. Like, we'll see. We'll see.
If you're making these decisions at elite level, you need to ask harder questions. What happens if the manager goes? What happens if the club spirals? Which brings us to the next point. Number 5, no recall clause. Even if you still believe the Marseille loan was smart, there's one contract detail that looks brutal now. Reports indicate there's no recall option in the deal. Arsenal cannot bring Nwaneri back mid-season. That matters because Arsenal's depth has been squeezed at exactly the wrong moment.
And then, they starting to bottle right now. I don't pick my fro out. Like, I don't pick it all the way through. If I picked it all the way through, it would be taller than this. I just pull the hair up without pulling it out just to give it its length on some shit. Like, you can tell back here. You can tell in the back that I don't pick it out.
Mikel Merino has a bone injury. He's out for months. Martin Odegaard has been sidelined with another niggle. Kai Havertz
with another what?
For months. Martin Odegaard has been sidelined with another niggle.
Oh, what?
He's out for months. Martin Odegaard has been sidelined with another niggle.
A niggle? What the type injury is that?
Bone injury. He's out for months. Martin Odegaard has been sidelined with another niggle.
A
Kai
niggle?
Havertz has been battling a knee injury since.
It's a real word, bro. Cause slight but persistence, annoyance, discomfort, or anxiety.
Niggle.
The fact that this is you're right. These UK motherfuckers do just be saying.
Since August and only recently resumed training. When Arsenal dropped points at Brentford on February 12th, it wasn't just about one header conceded. It was about looking like a team operating with a thinner margin than a title favourite can afford. And here's what makes it sting. Nwaneri is exactly the type of player you throw on to change a tight game. Fresh legs, fearless dribbling, quick combinations. Instead, Arsenal are forced to shuffle and patch, while the player they could use is locked into someone else's chaos. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, hit subscribe right now and give this video a like.
Perplexed.
Arsenal gambled they wouldn't need the exit.
Dead.
February has shown them otherwise. Number
4, Tottenham's managerial chaos.
Tottenham dismissed Ange Postecoglou despite him winning the Europa
Remember
League,
that
the
drama.
club's first trophy in 17 years. The reason? A 17th place league finish that ownership couldn't stomach. On June 12th, Thomas Frank was appointed on a 3-year contract. The message was clear. Spurs wanted pragmatism, control, a calmer identity. Fast forward to February 11th and Frank was sacked. ESPN reported Spurs were 16th at the time, having just lost.
Tottenham, man. What y'all got going on? Win your first trophy, now you're still just in mismatch.
At home to Newcastle. 8 months.
6 away from relegation.
2 days later, Tottenham appointed Igor Tudor as interim manager until the end of the season, with significant injuries in the squad and genuine relegation pressure building. Here's the gamble Spurs got wrong. You cannot keep rebooting culture and expect players to execute it like a software update.
Facts.
Postecoglou's Europa League win was proof of concept. It showed the group could believe again. When you remove that coach immediately after, you're telling players to forget the success
and they got
to
the best.
I
feel like they got the best stadium in the Premier League. I ain't talking about history and tradition, but in terms of like look and amenities and modernism and like aesthetics, bro, Tottenham Stadium is #1 in my opinion. And I'm going to have a TikTok coming out about that too. TikTok, check it out, Short Form Bronx.
Vision, and the next, soon. And the next. Number 3, Liverpool missing Guehi.
Mark Guehi. I seen somebody say this on Twitter talking about some, bro, y'all could have got Mark Guehi, but y'all, now it was YouTube. Y'all could have got Mark Guehi, but y'all picked up that dude Paquette, Jeremy Paquette from the Uber Eats. I said, bro, you gotta realize, man, it ain't Liverpool fault. Crystal Palace was lacking in depth. Somebody got hurt as soon as somebody got hurt on Crystal Palace as soon as Liverpool was finna sign them. So they was like, never mind. We need them back for right now. Like, feel me? It ain't. How is that our fault?
Liverpool waited and waited until transfer deadline day before going for Guehi. Get Florian Wirtz first, get Ekitike. Follow Isak for weeks, all before coming in for the defender who's been waiting for them for 3 months. But the move collapsed. Palace couldn't line up a replacement in time. Yeah. Then Manchester City swooped in January. The fee? An initial £20 million with add-ons on a 5.5-year contract. Guehi was in the final 18 months of his Palace deal and wasn't going to extend. The twist is pure football karma. City's new signing was jeered at Anfield, and then City came from behind to win there anyway. This is what gambles don't pay off looks like at the very top. It's not just that you missed a player, it's that a direct rival gets him cheaper mid-season and uses him against you in a crucial match. Centre-backs aren't luxury signings, they're system foundations. Liverpool took the risk that their existing depth would hold through a title and European calendar. When you miss a top target late, you typically pay later, either in fee or in opportunity. In this case, the opportunity went straight to a rival. Number 2, PSG replacing Donnarumma.
Chandler ain't been working. Of course, we all knew that. That's it. Donnarumma was literally #1 top keeper in the world last year. Of course, Chandelier won't be able to replace what he been doing. And the fact that Man City ended up getting Donnarumma still just blows my mind.
With Chevalier. PSG's gamble was the classic refreshing the position move. Younger keeper, new cycle. Now, let's be clear about the domestic picture. PSG are not
bro, Donnarumma is still young. They're talking about some younger keeper. Bro, this nigga is like 26 or 27.
Be clear about the domestic picture. PSG are not struggling in League One. The gamble is about European control and big moment goalkeeping continuity. PSG moved off a proven elite keeper and into an unsettled hierarchy. They've had to lean on Safonov in major league moments, which suggests the pecking order isn't fully resolved. In Europe, they've had wobble moments, including a Champions League defeat at Sporting that put their campaign in jeopardy. PSG don't get judged on being pretty good domestically. Their benchmark is Champions League nights where one goalkeeper decision can end a season. Even if Chevalier becomes elite long-term, the short-term cost is turbulence, not the stability you want when chasing European glory.
Number one.
Chelsea
boys. Chelsea boys, look away, because y'all get drugged through the mud all the time on the tube, bro. And it's not Bronx's fault. It ain't my fault.
Chelsea's summer window was a mission statement. They signed Jamie Gittins from Borussia Dortmund on a 7-year deal. 3 days later, Liam Delap arrived from Ipswich on a 6-year contract. On August 1st, Jorel Hato joined from Ajax, another 7-year deal. The oldest core signing was 23. The result of this is damning. Chelsea have dropped 17 points from winning positions this season. That's a game management problem, exactly the kind of problem experienced signings help solve. Young squads can win any individual match, but closing games out requires hardened voices who know how to slow tempo, draw fouls, and manage momentum.
We'll be good once these young talents mature. Yeah, right. We'll see.
When the pressure spikes in April. These gambles aren't permanent disasters, but they show how thin the margins are.
We'll see.
One sale too early, one clause missed, one manager change. February is the audit, and some receipts look brutal. Which gamble hurts most by May? Drop it in the comments.
Hey man, which gamble hurts the most on this list, everybody? According to y'all, I'm not gonna lie, bro. PSG getting rid of Donnarumma like that, it's just like, what sense does that make? Y'all coming off a quintuple run. Y'all coming off of winning the Champions League and winning everything that you can in football. Now you just back to being normal old PSG. 7 transfer gambles that backfired spectacularly this season. How about